ウエアハウスに来てます。全部樽だね。さっきちっちゃいって言ってたけど、ものすごい量あるね。見えるこれ。全部お酒詰まってんだよ。ウイスキーとマルコム。じゃあマルコムに、ウイスキーの話、ウエアハウスの話を聞いてみたいと思います。
Here we are at Roche, we're in warehouse number 6. Many years ago when the distillery was built in 1826, this used to be the malt floors. The kiln used to sit down at the bottom end. But in 1959 this was converted into a bonded warehouse. We have 5 in total in Pulteney. We have 4 dunnage, which we're in just now, and we have 1 steel rack warehouse. We have, at the present moment, we have round about 24,000 casks, with about 3.6 million litres of alcohol. The oldest Pulteney that we have in the bond at the moment here at the distillery is from 1967. So we have various years right the way up to 3 days ago.
Thank you. 今からマザーウォーターを汲んでもらいます。お願いします。Thank you.
Good. Hiya.
Hello.
プルトニーに来てます。プルトニーで、マルコムさんにちょっとウイスキーのことについて質問してみたいと思います。偉い人だよ、マネージャーだよ。マルコム。
Hi,
Roger.
Roger.
Thank you.
Welcome to Pulteney.
Thank you. まずはですね、年間製造どのぐらい作ってますか？
Annual production in litres this year at Pulteney is 1,400,000 litres of alcohol. If you were to express that in bottles, it would be somewhere about 5.5 million bottles of whiskey.
Thank you. 次にですね、輸出のベスト5、プルトニー。
The 5 best export markets for Pulteney would be United States of America, Sweden, the United Kingdom's a good market for us also, Germany, and France. In terms of Japan's position of Old Pulteney, I would think somewhere around about in the top 20, somewhere around about there, around about 20, 25.
意外といいとこ行ってますね。次は、このものとの使われているブレンド。
Blended whiskies which contain this malt as the main malt. This year and this past number of years, the company, I think we fill 4 Old Pulteney is laid down as single malt, and we choose as a company not to use Pulteney in any of our blends. But we also sell on to other companies who buy from us and use Pulteney single malt in their blends, namely Ballantyne's and Chivas Regal. So we sell a lot of whiskey to them and they use it in their blends.
インバーハウス
Some of the Amber House blends which have, and maybe a small amount, as Catos, Green Plaid, and Hanky Bannister.
Thank you ブレンド輸出先ゲストが
The five best export markets for our blends would be, again, it would be the United States. We have quite a lot of good blends in Thailand, it's in east, and also in Europe, a lot of the countries in Europe, and Australia, Germany, France as well.
ジャパンは
So I'm unsure what blends that we have really, and you have Catos, and you have Catos which probably somewhere in round about the 30th or 40th position for blended in Japan.
マルコムの考えなんですよこのモルトの性格それから他の蒸留所と異なる
Characters of Old Pulteney Malt, because we're right on with the most northerly distillery on the Scottish mainland, we're right on the coast, you've got a nice salty brininess to it. Also the 12 years old, it's nice and sweet, it's floral, it's estery. We have nice traces of honey, lemon, banana. The 17-year-old is softer fruit, it's more of a green apple and apricot. Slightly spicy, bit more mouthfeel, the tannin levels are higher so you've got a bit more mouthfeel to it. The 21-year-old, it's nice creamy, it's toffee, there's vanilla, it's like a baked apple, a soft baked apple fruit. The whiskey that I drink most regularly would definitely be the 12 years old. If I've got friends round, I'll drink 21-year-old as well. And if I'm sitting relaxing, just having a couple, I'll drink the 17-year-old Old Pulteney.
今までで最高のウイスキー
Oh, something iconic, a nice iconic whiskey. What I would say, we have a couple of distilleries in the group that are no longer with us, sadly. We have Glenflagler and Kellyloch. And Glenflagler to me was an outstanding whiskey. I think the last distillate that we had was from the early 70s, 1972, and it's absolutely fantastic. It really is nice whiskey.
では、マルコムさんのウイスキー業界での経歴、このウイスキー業界
Obviously, the past careers that I've had, I started in Pulteney in 1990. I started off on shift. I was a stillman, a mashman. I went through the ranks as brewer and assistant manager. And as my time as assistant manager, I worked at other distilleries for various reasons, covering for holidays or sickness. And then in 2000, I moved away to Speyside, and I went down to manage Knock Do Distillery, which single malt is Anok. And I was distillery manager there for 6 years, and then moved back to Pulteney to be manager in 2006. But I've worked in Balblair Distillery, Speyburn Distillery, Balmenich Distillery, Pulteney and Anok.
次は水源地について聞いてみるね。水源地
The name of our water source for Pulteney comes from a loch just situated outside of Wick, and it's called Loch Hempriggs. Loch Hempriggs flows down a lead, which is a man-made stream from the loch, which is 3.5 miles from the distillery, and it flows down into the distillery where we use it for process, and we also use it for cooling the stills. The water is very soft, nice characteristics. It's very, very slightly peated, but very not detectable on the actual palate or the nose, but it's soft. It flows from the edge of what we call the flow country, which is a peat bog. So the stone in Wick is very dense, so it rises through some grey, what we call grey stone, and then flows into the loch. Nice, good quality, soft, clean water. Plenty of it. Cold.
画面にあったあれだよ、湖だよね、来る途中にあったやつだね。モートスパ、PPM。
The malt that we use at Pulteney here, we used to malt on site up until 1959. We haven't done so since. The last couple of years we've been getting our malts from Baird's malting group in Inverness. We don't use peated malt whatsoever in Pulteney. Our peating level is less than 1 ppm. We use plain malt and have done since 1959.
樽の種類は
We use all types of barrels here at Pulteney. We have American bourbon barrels, we have hogsheads, dump remade, and we also fill a lot of sherry butts and puncheons. Normally we would use them 2, maybe 3 times, not more than 3.
シングルバッティングはやらない？
We have had a number of single cask bottlings these past number of years. We always take check out all our casks once they get to a certain age. We sample them, so we know what we have in the warehouse. Something that stands out, or something maybe slightly different from normal, the normal what we would class styles for 12, 17, 21-year-old. If there's something that wee bit different, slightly different characteristics, we would select that for a single cask bottling and put it out into different markets.